Hello, crime fighters. I'm Ray, the DA, and we're here on Straight Talk again. And I'm here with Amber Freeman, and our guest today is Luanna Redcorn, who is the Fayette County Commonwealth's attorney. Now, welcome.
Thank you, Ray.
Now we're at the big deal desk, and this reminds me when I graduated to the adults table at Thanksgiving.
Are you still there? You still the seat?
You know, I never did like her. Luanna, you've been the Commonwealth's attorney now for a little over a year. So tell me, how's it going?
I think it's going well. It's busy. There's been a few surprises. I mean, I was somewhat familiar with the job, having been with you for 30 years. But it's challenging.
What's been the biggest surprise moving from the first assistant? Well, you had some administrative duties, but now you got it all.
I think one of the biggest surprises is that when you're Commonwealth's attorney 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's demanding. I didn't realize just how demanding it was. Beyond just personnel and supervision and things like that, just the responsibility that you have to the community. The grand jurors call on the weekend when one of them is sick, or there's call-outs when we have vehicular homicides or homicides out in the county, and I go. So it's far more demanding than I realized it would be.
One of the issues that Amber has raised is how capable are we? Now, I'm a civilian now.
Yes.
Amber's a news reporter, anchor. And so how capable are we to go to a scene and not necessarily film things, but to go and see what happens at a scene?
I don't know what you mean by capable. I mean, can you come to a
Yeah,
scene? Is that what
yeah,
you're asking?
that's
Well,
the question.
the news does show up. I mean, there are certainly parameters where they have to stay, and you certainly can't do anything to interfere with the police investigation. But if things are out in the public, they're out in the public.
Well, shall we do that sometime?
Just go make a visit? Well, we do it all the time.
Right.
You're definitely welcome to do a ride
Oh,
along.
thank you.
We'll allow it.
Okay, that'd be good. That'd
Just
be good.
don't ask to come into the scene.
Or cause the scene.
You know, Tim Russell told me that don't come in here till we're done.
Well, and I never go in until they're done.
Mm-hmm. What are the challenges you're looking at?
Well, you know, as you have said many, many times, one of the primary responsibilities of government is to protect its citizens. So public safety and keeping the public safe is always a challenge. And we convict people. We intend for them to go to prison on many occasions, and keeping them in prison to keep the public safe for that period of time is a challenge.
You talk about keeping the public safe. What kind of crime issues is Lexington facing?
Well, I mean, you can only need to pick up the paper to see that we have crime issues, just like any community. As Ray pointed out, over the years, it's a small number of people that commit the most number of crimes. That's the people that we need to be focusing on. If we can keep those people locked up, at least for the period of time that's appropriate, then they're not out committing crime.
And Ray, I'm surprised you didn't catch me on that grammatical error there.
Well, one of the people spend a lot of time, and they're spending a lot of time these days talking about criminals and what can we do for the criminals. And in the process, they seem to forget about crime victims.
Yes.
And public safety. How can we kind of refocus that? Because we got about 40 seconds to tell.
Well, let me tell you about one of the things I've done to refocus it, and that is, since I've become Commonwealth's attorney, I've established a special victims unit. So this is a unit of 7 attorneys who will handle all of the child sexual abuse, domestic violence, adult sexual assault, exploitation of children, the elderly, and human trafficking. And they won't just do those cases because there's not enough, but they focus on those cases, and this is good. This is good for keeping people, offenders accountable, and it's very good for victims.
Well, I've seen it in action, and you're doing a good job, and I'm really proud of you. And Lexington ought to be proud of you. And we'll see you next time, crime fighters. And don't forget, they're going to tell you right now that they are not responsible for what I say on this show. I don't get it. See you next time.
The opinions expressed in this segment are not necessarily those of the management and staff of ABC 36.